What's up, Browns fans? Time now for another edition of X's and Joe's. And what a special treat we have today. Some would call it a Christmas miracle. The Hoff in studio with me, Nathan Zegura, alongside the Hoff Joe Thomas, the Joe of X's and Joe's. Hoff, it's great to see you.
It's great to be here, Nathan. I'm excited every chance I get to be in studio with you, watching the same screen.
Oh, baby.
Chopping up Browns football.
Yes, and we're going to chop it up. Not a lot of highlights, unfortunately, in the game against the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Browns did have one big play, a 62-yard touchdown run by Jerome Ford. There was a combination of when there are big runs like that, you could say it was a nice design, you could say good vision and acceleration by the back, and then those big ones always come from some blocking by the wide receivers, and we'll see that here as well.
Yeah, we always talk as an offensive line, we wanted to get our running backs about 5 yards down the field to the second level, and then runs that are more successful than that, it all comes down to the blocking from the outside with those receivers.
So let's take a look at it here. We'll give you kind of the sideline view. The Browns had suffered a 13-yard loss on first down. This is 2nd and 23, and they're going to go with a draw play here. And you see we got a nice little lane here, and you think this run's going to come right up the middle, right? Right up the A-gap, but that's where they've got their defense. So it's going to take some nice vision from Jerome Ford here.
Yeah, if you want to run play, if you want to draw play to be successful, there's a couple of things that have to happen. One, you need to be able to get most likely the defensive end up the field to create a little bit of space. It's great to get the defensive tackles up the field also, but in this case, the second thing that you want to have happen is you want your running back to attack the line of scrimmage, attack a gap, to bring those defenders in, to swarm that gap, and then he's got the opportunity, because you got everybody locked up, to be able to bounce it, and it can go anywhere. We always said in our playbook and in our meetings, a draw play is designed to go one spot, but it can go anywhere, so make sure you're always blocking the guy and trying to take away the area that he's trying to get to. That's how you can tell a lot of times where the running back is running the football. And so Jerome Ford does a great job. He initially starts in the right A-gap. He's coming downhill. He's bringing that defense to where he is going to be in that A-gap, and then that's what opens up that bounce to the outside. Props to Jeudy on the outside for sticking with his man. He's in man coverage there, but understanding as soon as the ball bounces to you, now you are the touchdown block. And he does a great job when you look at the end zone, when you look at the sideline angle, you can see the great job that Jeudy does trying to get his helmet to the inside and then making sure he's covering up his guy, running his feet down the field. As soon as he feels like his player is disengaging to try to make the tackle, he's wheeling on him, he's taking his inside hand, he's playing strong with them and covering him up so Jerome Ford can do a great job of threatening to the outside and then bouncing it up right down that alley to the inside of those numbers, and then he's off to the races using that speed, getting down the sideline.
Outruns the angle there, and you're right, Jeudy, this doesn't happen without him. And look at how he gets vision on the ball carrier right here. Eyes back to the ball carrier. He says, oh, man, he's cutting it this way. I've got to go ahead and get this seal block, and he turns that right around. Boom. Look at that move right there. That's like a pirouette. Boom. That's a strong move, Hoff.
That's a great move, and I think one of the things that is a detail that gets overlooked here, right? You did a great job of mentioning Jeudy. He's looking at the football. He's trying to find where is Jerome Ford? Where do I need to be in relation to the guy I'm trying to block? But he doesn't lose contact with his defender, right? It's important he's got his right arm on him, right? Because without that, you're going to lose track of where the guy you're trying to block is, and he can easily slip behind him. But looking to find the ball, keeping a hand on your defender allows him to wheel, pirouette, like you said, and then spin on the defender, keep himself between the ball carrier and the defender he's trying to block, and then knocking him out of there, giving Jerome Ford that room to be able to cut up the field and use his speed to get to the end zone.
Oh, baby, touchdown, and that's a beautiful thing. We're going to take a look at it from kind of this wide angle, and you're going to see the two key blocks by the receivers that we talked about. The first is going to be Mike Woods here on Nick Bolton, who's a very good linebacker, but he's able to seal and keep just long enough here to allow Jerome Ford to get outside. And then look at this point, Jeudy hasn't even sealed. He's got his eyes on Jerome Ford, and he's going to seal, and they're going to create that lane. And number 30, fortunately, not a great angle, and then Jerome Ford able to just outrun him. But it was that block here and this block here by two receivers. I'm sure Chad O'Shea in the meeting room is going to give those guys their flowers.
Yeah, a lot of flowers there for the guys on the outside. They're the ones that made this play from a good run to a great run. And initially, with Jerome Ford running the ball, threatening that A-gap, it brings all those defenders in and creates that space on the outside for him to run off of Jeudy's block.
Longest touchdown run of the season for your Cleveland Browns, 62 yards, and that's how it happened. And I got to tell you, those things don't often happen. He was untouched, not contacted at all on that play. A big run, and hopefully That'll start this ground game going. Dorian Thompson-Robinson going to start this week against Cincinnati Hoffa, and the quarterback's best friend is a running game that gets going, and we know we will unfortunately not have Nick Chubb after the broken foot, but Jerome Ford averaging over 5 yards a carry this year, showing some real ability.
Yeah, and I think the coaches want to see Jerome Ford in that primary role, being able to continue to carry the load and see how much improvement he can make down the stretch, and can he be that workhorse for us next season?
And we will certainly find that out. We want to thank you for joining us here in the film room. It's another edition of X's and Joes presented by Microsoft Surface.